Welcome to the Cedar Valley College website on Texas real estate sales licensing. My name is Steve Brown. I am a real estate professor here at the college as well as the real estate program coordinator. I'd like to talk to you today about the educational and other requirements that are necessary here in the state of Texas in order to receive real estate sales licensing. I want you to know that we offer courses that are approved by the Texas Real Estate Commission through our regional accreditation with the Southern Association of Colleges and Schools, and that the courses that we offer lead not only to the necessary requirements for sales licensing, but also will produce for you a certificate in real estate from the college and can lead later on to an associate's degree in real estate from the college as well. Our courses here are offered both online as well as in the classroom, and I hope you find this presentation helpful in answering your questions about real estate sales licensing in the state of Texas. There are two levels of real estate licensing. You'll see them here. The salesperson's license is an entry-level type of position. In that position, you are typically working with buyers, sellers, landlords, and tenants to help them facilitate real estate transactions. Salespeople will work under a real estate broker who sponsors their activity, and though the salesperson is an entry-level type of position into the real estate sales industry, the broker position is one that requires considerably more experience and education. Please be advised as you review this presentation that we will only in this presentation be covering the licensing requirements for people who are salespersons. We will not be covering the brokerage or broker requirements in this particular presentation. Requirements for salesperson licensing will include education requirements as well as application requirements. There is an examination that students will have to complete upon successful completion of their real estate courses. There are fingerprint requirements and others that will be addressed later on in this presentation. Please be advised that as we talk about education requirements in this presentation, they're going to be CVC specific. That is, these are the courses you would have to take in our program of study here at Cedar Valley College in order to meet the minimum education requirements for Texas real estate sales licensing. We'll start first of all with the Principles of Real Estate 1 and 2 courses that are required, and our course designations for those are RELE 1301 and RELE 1338. And that's Principles of Real Estate 1 and Principles of Real Estate 2. In order to meet the minimum education requirements for Texas real estate sales licensing educationally, you would need to also take Law of Agency. That course number is RELE 2301. You would be required to take Law of Contracts. That is RELE 1311. And additionally, you would be required to take Real Estate Finance, RELE 1319, and a fairly new course that's been added by the Texas Real Estate Commission called Contract Forms and Addenda, RELE 1300. And in that course, though you touch on successfully completing a contract form in the Law of Contracts course, in the Contract Forms and Addenda course, you'll be addressing that topic in far greater detail. So, as you review each of these courses, plan on spending at least 45 hours of study for each course. So there's 6 courses there, multiply that by 45 hours, and that's the minimum amount of time that you should allocate for study related to each or to the educational requirements that are necessary for Texas real estate sales licensing. Also, before I leave this slide, just be advised that when I first started teaching here, there were only 3 courses that were required to sit for the license exam. And looking at this slide here, you'll see there are now 6. So, not surprisingly, over time, the Texas Real Estate Commission has historically continued to raise the bar in terms of what is required to meet the educational licensing requirements. So just be advised of that going forward. I have students who sometimes will complete their courses of study, wait a couple of years, and then when they're ready to take or they decide that they're ready to take their license exam, they find out that, oops, Texas Real Estate Commission has added another course. Yuck. So they have to either take another course or take a refresher or both in order to be prepared to sit for the license exam. Just be advised that when you take these courses, I would suggest being prepared to take the license exam immediately upon successful completion of these courses. Okay, so educational requirements, there you have. There are also application requirements, and you'll see the website there, http://www.trec.texas.gov. Boy, that's a mouthful. But that is the website that is for the Texas Real Estate Commission. And just for future reference, when you hear me talk about TREC or TREC, that is the acronym for the Texas Real Estate Commission that basically sets the rules on how we do our work and practice real estate here in the state of Texas. When you go in and apply and pay online, that is just for your application fee. And once you're licensed, just be advised that every 2 years you have to take continuing education, you have to meet continuing education requirements, and of course you would be required to pay an additional fee to renew your license every 2 years. When you initially set up the application online and complete it, you'll receive a package back from the Texas Real Estate Commission that will give you instructions on what you need to do in order to complete your licensing requirements, as well as instructions on your license exam that you'll be required to complete. The application fee, I used to put what the application fee was in the presentation, but as with everything else in life, the price keeps going up. So suffice it to say, if you're curious about what the application fee is for licensing, check the Real Estate Commission website, and that website will have the most recent information for you on application fee. With regard to the examination requirements, yes, there is a fee to take the exam. The fee is administered by Pearson VUE. It is a computerized exam, so when you get the application package from TREC, they will send you to Pearson VUE, and you'll contact Pearson VUE when you're ready to take the license exam, to set up the exam. You take it by computer, and the good news is when you walk out of the exam, you'll know if you passed or failed. The bad news is that sometimes that's not necessarily good news. But regardless, when you take the license exam, there are 2 parts. There's a national and a state part. And of course it's wonderful if you pass both parts, but the way the exam is currently administered, you don't have to pass both parts. In other words, if you take the national and you pass the national only, the next time you take it or do the retake, you would only have to take the state portion of the exam, not both parts. And but there is a fee if for any reason you fail and you have to retake either or both exams. Here at Cedar Valley College, we do offer an exam prep online. If you're interested in that, contact the college, and we would be happy to provide you additional information on the cost and the preparation for the exam through our source. Texas Real Estate Commission also requires that you submit fingerprints, and the TREC website, which was provided earlier, can give you details on where you can get your fingerprints taken and how to proceed with submitting those fingerprints to the Texas Real Estate Commission for review and approval. Other requirements, again, these are all enumerated on the TREC website provided earlier, but something that students may want to consider is before you begin any process with regard to licensing is to have TREC run a background check. Sometimes individuals have had indiscretions in the past that prevent them from being licensed, and we would sure hate to see students begin the course of study, take all the courses, do the application fee, jump through all these hoops, only to find out at the end that for some reason, due to some indiscretion in the past, that they may not be able to qualify as a real estate salesperson. If you have a concern along those lines, that TREC website, you'll go in there and you'll do a search on fitness determination form. That's a form that you can complete and send to the Texas Real Estate Commission, and the Texas Real Estate Commission will take a look at that form, they'll review it, and they'll let you know whether it would be advisable for you to proceed. There is a slight fee for completing that form. I can't remember exactly what it is, like $25 or $50, something like that. And again, that's a number that changes over time, but it would be definitely worth the investment if you have any concerns along this line. Other requirements for licensing is you cannot be in default on any Texas student loan. Your payments have to be on schedule in that regard. One of the things that you will additionally be required to do once you are licensed is you'll have to have a real estate broker sponsor your license. So as you're seriously getting close to the end of this process, it would be wise for you to get the word out and begin to interview possible brokerage offices to see where you might work to find a broker that would be in line with your goals to sponsor you in your early real estate career. In the midst of all of this, I know once you've gotten through the application process and all the other requirements, including the education requirements and the license exam and everything, you're going to be so excited to start. But you'll see I have all caps and underlined, don't practice until you have your license. And yeah, that's a bozo no-no. It is mandatory that you wait until your license is in hand before you begin to represent buyers, sellers, landlords, or tenants in real estate transactions. But the good news is once you've got that under the proper sponsorship of a broker, you're good to go, and I wish you the best in your sales career and in your real estate business. Just some other final thoughts before I close this out here is, first of all, I hope you find this presentation has been helpful. We would, of course, love for you to join us here at CVC at Cedar Valley College. Again, we offer both online and classroom courses literally throughout the year. We're teaching classes on New Year's and Christmas and holidays. The courses that I provided on the previous slide presentation, the courses may be taken in any order. They are, we recommend that you take the courses in the order that I provided you on that slide, but that order is not required. You are required, however, to take all the courses, but they're just not required in that order. So again, I hope this answers your questions. I wish you the best of luck and a very blessed life in your in all of your business and personal practice. And if you decide to pursue the real estate as a career, I hope you find it successful and fulfilling.